Most of you watching this video probably have seen those insane looking thumbnails and thought to yourself, I need this for my videos. But after checking the prices for some of these thumbnail designers, you realize they're way out of your budget. So to save you from all that, I'll show you how to turn your boring Minecraft screenshots into masterpieces, all for the price of $0. For this tutorial, the only thing we'll be needing is any type of web browser. And just so you know, this tutorial only covers the editing process of your thumbnails, so I'm assuming you already know how to take a good screenshot in Minecraft. And just a few tips when taking the screenshots: try to make sure there isn't too much going on in the background so that the viewer's attention focuses on the main player or object. And then also, please do not take the screenshot in any other FOV except 30. Any other number will ruin your thumbnail completely. Now that you have your screenshot, it's time to open up your web browser and navigate to photopea.com. This is where we'll be editing our thumbnails. Click on New Project, and then choose YouTube Thumbnail, and create the project. Now click File, and then click Open in Place. Find the screenshot that you took, and then import it into your project. Now what we want to do is mask out the player, and then mask out the tree. So to do that, we get to use either the lasso tool, or we can use the magic tool. Now that we have our player masked out, what you want to do is click Control and then J, which will create a new layer with just the player. Now select your original layer and then mask out the tree. Do the same thing and click Control J, and then now you have two separate layers with the player by itself and the tree by itself. This way we can edit each object individually. Now we'll start editing the player. Click on the layer with just your player, and then duplicate this layer one time. On the duplicate layer, go to Layer, Layer Style, and Inner Glow. Copy these settings right here, and then click OK. Now duplicate this layer, right click it, and click Rasterize Layer Style. Basically what this does is bake that layer style into this image. Now we can add another layer style. Go to Layer, New Layer, and the Inner Glow. And then now copy these new settings. Click OK, and now we have outlines. However, we don't want these back outlines because it doesn't match the image. We only want the outlines where the sun's coming from. So now what we want to do is erase anywhere where we don't want outlines. But before that, we have to rasterize this layer again. So right click this layer and then click Rasterize Layer Style. Now go to the eraser tool, and now we can start erasing all these highlights. We can now delete the layer below as we don't need it anymore. And now what we want to do is make the shadows and highlights of this player a lot better. To do this, all we have to do is select all the parts with shadow. Click on the lasso tool and then use it to select all the shadow parts. Now that we have our shadow selected, go to Image, Adjustments, and then Curves. Bring these curves down just a little bit so that the shadows are more defined. Now what we want to do is invert the selection. To do this, click Control, Shift, and then I. Now go back to Image, Adjustments, Curves, and then bring the curves up. After this, we can deselect, and now our player is much more defined and looks a lot better than before. Now all we have to do is do the exact same thing for the tree. Now the player is looking pretty dark, so what we're going to do is go back to Image, Adjustments, Curves, and make them just a little brighter. Now that both of these objects are edited, all we have to do is go back to the original background and add some color grading to it. Let's go back to Image, Adjustments, and what we want to go to is Vibrance. To Just turn the vibrance just up a little bit. This will add a lot more color to the background. And after that, we're done. So let's go to File, Export as PNG, and all we have to do is save it to our files. And that is how you turn a boring Minecraft screenshot into a beautiful masterpiece for free. Alright, see ya.